Hi, Karen Noir. Did you miss me? How are you today? Do you miss spying on my private life and trying to get dirt to use against me because I'm a horrible monster for kissing a black girl at 8 years old 40 years ago, and that means I suffer from obsession because Jewish people who kiss black girls are crazy and suffer from obsession and are stalkers. I love you.
How can you not joke? How can you not joke? Why are Jews not allowed to have senses of humor and need to be put up against walls and have bullet holes put in their head with judicial systems? Interesting, judicial system. Interesting Perelman play on psychotic, break, scam wording. Interesting. But I would think that the people here would be more concerned about what the Perlman and his family is doing with worldwide groups, because you know what? Anyone who's Jewish is not allowed to have attention. They're not allowed to leave cages or concentration camps and have hobbies and date women and go places, because that means they need to have attention, especially taking walks is the crime of all crime for us Jews. Okay, so anyways, and why is the Perlman family behind that, which is even freakier? Okay, so we're doing a little fix here. We have possibly low oil pressure. So look at this craftsmanship. So I'm putting in a fuel pressure gauge here, so I don't have to constantly take off the fuel line and check the pressure or whatever. And you know, it's a nice little added touch. But in the world of Perlman crimes, just like Officer Torres' death threats in 2013, if you ever take a picture of a person, I'll exercise the law in my own way, clearly paid off by the family for getting into photography with worldwide child rapist groups, and Mike Wexler in '96 taking photography film class with Professor Nick, University of Colorado. Jason's friend befriends me, giving me death threats. Let's go on a road trip. You're not allowed to take pictures of people. If you disobey or defy us, we're going to hunt you with worldwide groups to try to make you look like a violent, paranoid schizophrenic and execute you or eradicate you with the police and government, psychology, community, Perlman family. Now, we all know that photography has never been a crime. The only real crime is hunting people to kill people out of hate, saying you don't leave cages because I don't like you. Your kind needs to die. Okay, so remember that Alexis Amore babbles, you're a stalker, after Anita Perlman says on the phone, you have a problem too with worldwide groups parking cars in twos, white cars in twos, and a lot of other cryptic things, because Anita Perlman is angry at her 5-year-old with Ron Perlman and Jason Perlman, and I ruined their life because she had a baby that she didn't like, correct? Because I didn't breastfeed correctly or whatever. And so buying a car, even if your family says, hey, I want to help you out, if you call up your family on the phone and you say, if I need a cosigner for a loan, would you cosign? And my mother says, this is an opportunity to try to make Kevin look like he's stealing cars or weird things that don't make any sense like everything else. So she says, you know what, we want to help you out. Okay, and I see it as a moment for bonding, even though the family's psychotic and has a planet of people coming after me from every direction, minute by minute, with 147 billion attacks per day to kill me, which doesn't make any sense, okay? But it's a way to try to make someone look like a violent, paranoid schizo and execute or eradicate them. But anyways, let's focus on some of my, because the judicial system and the family say I'm not capable of doing anything, and I'm supposedly trying to steal their money, which they've destroyed my reputation worldwide, and it's unrepairable. Okay, they've created a situation with you don't talk, we kill you, with our judicial and police friends. So let's boast a little. Look at this craftsmanship here from the guy that the family is with worldwide groups is stopping from accomplishing anything. So all right, so I'm putting in a PSI gauge here because I think we're having a really old 140,000 mile fuel pump here with low fuel pressure. And so I said, you know what, why not just put in a dedicated PSI gauge. We got our quick connect fitting here, and the most important part of this is that it's green and black. And remember, I'm being hunted by worldwide groups for buying different color shirts and things that don't make any sense, trying to guilt me to death, following me with clothing color groups and freaky things like that the Perlman family is behind out of their hate because people don't work on cars or fix cars or do anything with cars. Of course, everyone does if they're not a lazy, spoiled brat that sits around judging people all day. They get off their ass and do things, and the Perlman family is mad at me for actually going out and doing things with their worldwide child raping Jew kill armies. Okay, so check it out. Oh, we need our light here. Let's do our light. All right, so we got some AN6 fitting, pressure fittings. We got heat treated hose. We got a quick release connector here for the fuel barb. We got a 60 PSI, 60, that's a big number, 6s and 2s with the Jew kill armies, with the judicial system since I was a young child, especially Tom Farley, who has a problem with Jews that go to social groups on and off the internet and have screen names like everyone else. Okay, and then we have our pressure fitting to the main line here, and that's pretty much it. And so I probably should have did this in brush steel lines, but you know what? I don't really care that much, and if I later on want to redo these connectors, it'd take me 20 minutes to put it on, so whatever. Functionality here, I just want to know the fuel pressure and know if my fuel pump is going bad, because this is a really old fuel pump with the filters, probably never ever been changed in 140,000 miles in 20 years. So all right, so that's it. And remember that LAPD is, with my family, is making up lies that I'm now a car thief. Of course, remember before I was a drug dealer at 16 for working on cars, with worldwide groups saying he just wants attention, which doesn't make sense because it's about killing Jews, because people don't care if other people want attention. People don't give a shit about other people. They focus on themselves unless they're stalking murderers. Okay, and that's the point behind daily, minute by minute kill Kevin operations for 50 years, is instead of them going out living their own lives, they're mad at me for doing the same things as everyone else, meaning that they're hunting to kill out of hate, not any other reason. He needs attention, hunt him and kill him. I think he stole a car, hunt him and kill him and keep throwing him in jail. Of course, he has all the paperwork and we don't care, right? Or we're not gonna take the time to look, just like Yuka. Don't look at the website. It has the proof of the innocence. It has proof of her statements, which are blatant lies. And Ron Perlman with Mike Huntley saying you're not allowed to defend yourself, meaning that I'm gonna hunt you and kill you, and you're not allowed to say anything about it with the Perlman family. Okay, so now what is my crime? It's going out and trying to live my life like everyone else. So why are the police saying you don't talk or we kill you, while hunting me to have me killed with worldwide groups, and then try to make it about mental illness and medication, which makes no sense. See, Kevin, because you're fixing your car, which is getting old, and mechanics are trying to charge you like $100,000 to change an oil filter and shit, intentionally with motive, with the family, with worldwide child rapist groups. Because you're doing these things, you're a horrible monster, and nobody would ever do these things, and you need attention. Of course, the excuse will change hourly. We just don't want you leaving a cage after 5 years old, and your kind needs to die. Okay, so that's the only thing going on. It's not about women, it's not about black people, it's not about anything else. But, you know, I kissed a black girl at 8 years old, and the Perlman family said Kevin needs to die for what he did, and then it changes. Kevin bought a car, he needs to die for what he did. Kevin bought a weight bench at 14 and started lifting weights and going out jogging. So Mike Huntley and Paul Humphrey were told to latch on and hunt me to have me killed. And Arnold Silver's playing the schizophrenia tactic. I'm Arnold Schwarzenegger, and Kevin's crazy. He thinks I'm Arnold Schwarzenegger. And it's just going to switch to 100,000, literally 100,000 different things like that, which LAPD is behind in psychology community to hunt and kill a 5-year-old, okay? Now you have to question why worldwide groups are all taking part hunting to kill someone for doing the same things as everyone else, like buying food and eating. And they're mad about that. Your kind needs to die, and your kind doesn't eat food, and no relaxing for you, nigger, and we're gonna kill you wherever you go with mass mobs of strangers worldwide. Because you know what you did. You kissed a black girl or something. You didn't breastfeed correctly at 5. Who knows, right? Okay, so or whatever fucking age you breastfeed, I don't know. Okay, so the bottom line here is that nothing is about anything but hunting a 5-year-old Jewish person with plan of child raping, murdering stalkers who have been with the police and government, and there's no possible reason why LAPD wouldn't come forwards, or psychology community or anyone else, unless they are child raping Jew killers. So those people that want to be my friends but don't want to say anything about the minute-by-minute worldwide murder operations that have me killed, conspiracy to commit murder, or eradicated, they're child raping murderers, okay? There's no possible reason you wouldn't come forward unless you're a child raping Jew killer, okay? That's it. And why would you want to be my friend if you're a child raping Jew killer working with child rapist police officers like Charles Sean Dinsey to try to make people look angry and crazy with endless fabrications and lies, especially in courtrooms, with paid off judges and prosecutors. Remember, the Perlman family is actually paying off judicial people to hunt and kill, and police officers to hunt and kill. So, but the question is, why is the worldwide groups of people helping? This is the question. It doesn't make any sense, but they are. Okay, so, and why would you be mad at this video for doing all sorts of positive things and stating that hunting me to have me killed is unacceptable or eradicated because someone doesn't like me with worldwide unlimited government and billions of dollars of resources? That's the question. Okay, there is no other question here. There is another, you did too many photo shoots with black people or something that doesn't even, it's not even true, but it's the stupidest thing. But I refuse to look at your photography website, like Yuka. I refuse to look at your photography website to see that that's not true, but I'm gonna believe empty statements and hunt, follow you from place to place trying to kill you with mass groups, okay? And now, it's blatantly obvious that the people saying these things don't believe what they're saying. They're just hunting 5-year-old Jews to kill them with the Perlman family, whatever reason. And the Perlman family is paying off security companies and homeowners associations and you name it to hunt me and kill me or eradicate me. And this has gone on at every single place I've been or lived since 5 years old. There has been no single place where this hasn't happened. Every dorm in college, every house I rented in college, I didn't know what was going on, but it was. That's how I managed to get through college, is I didn't know what was going on. And then I find out that the police are hunting me to have me killed with Child Rapist PD and worldwide groups and judicial system and Mike Huntley and Paul Humphrey, who worked for LAPD in 1998. And so there is nothing I can do that isn't a crime. Taking a walk is a crime. Sitting on a bench is a crime. Going to a coffee shop is a crime. Talking about getting stalkers on video, threatening my life on video, getting girls trying to slice me up with knives, paid off by LAPD and my family paying them to slice me up with knives. You name it. And each person has an excuse. Well, you know, because he has an opinion about us hunting him to kill him, we're allowed to hunt him and kill him, okay? And the police are mad that I have an opinion about them hunting me to have me killed with worldwide groups and my family paying them, okay? So, and do I have proof? No, but it's blatantly obvious at this point that they clearly are that guilty in what they're involved in. Okay, and it is based on Chief Michael Moore and police monitoring and childhood illegal monitoring, but it goes way beyond that because there's a point where that person says something's very wrong, and instead of them saying, okay, we'll back off, right? 29 years old, Mike, what's going on? We'll back off. No, you don't talk or we kill you. So death threats by people, you better take medication or you'll destroy your life. These are death threats. These aren't I'm concerned, I want you healthy and out living your life and dating women. Everything stopped. Everything changed at 29 years old, okay, which the Perlman family is trying to cover up making up lies about mental breaks because I have an opinion about Mike Huntley threatening my life with stalking groups trying to kill me with flat-out direct death threats. And Anita Perlman and Ron Perlman say it's a psychotic break because they clearly paid Mike Huntley to latch on to me with Paul Humphrey and be my jailer, not my friend. And at the moment I found out, it's you have to die, okay? But let's be realistic. If this guy's trying to set me up and frame me my whole life with my family, then he's not there to be my friend and not even keep me in line. He's actually hunting to kill or eradicate. Okay, now the question here is Alexis Moore, Kira Noir, all the rest. Jew kill Jada Fire. Why do you support that? Why do you support child raping, murdering families that make the kind of judgments which you say you hate, and yet you make the same judgments, showing you're hypocrites, okay? With Aubrey Fisher, shit like Aubrey Fisher paid off to hunt me to have me killed, right? You tapped your foot by me, I have the right to hunt you and kill you with worldwide groups. And once again, everything's a justification that doesn't make any sense, that normally would not happen, which is unheard of, that if some girl didn't like some guy, for whatever reason, she normally just wouldn't talk to him. She wouldn't follow him from place to place with billions of government dollars trying to kill him, okay, and the Perlman family. And the next question is why every date I go on is my dialogue given to my family, okay? So there's no privacy, there's just, what can we collect to use against you to justify killing you since 5 years old? Okay, so any dialogue I have with my friends or my family will instantly, or anyone else, will instantly be collected to try to get something to give to the police, correct? Since I was 5 years old, with child raping, Jew kill armies. And LAPD, anytime I mention a direct name or talk about a situation, show up trying to lock me away, right? If I mention Kira Noir's name, here comes the police trying to set me up and frame me and lock me away. But why would the police be mad at me for mentioning a porn star's name who spreads their name all over the fucking internet worldwide, and everyone mentions the name, nobody cares, or Alexis Moore, and yet here the police are, you don't talk about these people involved in this mass worldwide crime spree to lock you away since 5 years old. Okay, and that's the answer, is that it's not that I'm doing, it's that I'm doing the same thing as everyone else, but we can't have any truth about any of the hundreds of thousands of things we've done to this guy daily since 5 years old to execute him at all costs with billions and billions of government dollars. The Perlman family paying off their judicial friends to hunt me to have me killed out of hate, okay? And remember one thing, that the Perlman family does not operate off law. They make their own laws. So to the Perlman family, buying a jar of pickles is a crime, and if you buy a jar, I'm going to threaten your life if you ever buy a jar with our police friends. If you ever buy a jar of pickles, we're going to hunt you and kill you. And then worldwide groups will help the family hunt and kill because they go out and say, I like pickles, I'm going to buy a fucking jar of pickles. Okay, and it's the same thing with photography, it's the same thing with pool halls, the same thing with cars, and it's the same thing with changing light bulbs, and it's the same thing with relaxing and sitting down on a park bench, and it's the same thing as going to coffee shops and gyms, working out, and all of a sudden you're going to realize it's not really about anything but killing a 5-year-old, and the excuse changes. Oh, kissing a black girl. The excuse changes daily until Kevin Perlman is dead or gone, by Arnold Silver, Anita Perlman, Ron Perlman, Jason Perlman, and worldwide child rapist armies, that people are trying to make a game and a joke instead of coming forwards and saying this is just completely fucking unacceptable, and you look what you've done to this guy daily for 50 fucking years. He's just trying to fucking go out and live his life, and you won't stop. And instead, they're mad at me, trying to manipulate me down the path of destruction, as they always have, and they're getting angry and angry the more I avoid it, right? And the more people latch on, throwing rocks and stalking and attacking and provoking, and that's why it's worldwide. Because when the Perlman family said, kill our 5-year-old, everyone helped, they, for some odd, strange reason, worldwide groups got together and said, we're going to help hunt and kill a 5-year-old Jewish child with a sick, demented Jewish family who is trying to justify their daily bullying since I was 5 years old by saying, you don't sit at park benches or we kill you with worldwide groups, you don't get into photography or studio photography especially, or we're going to hunt you and kill you with worldwide groups with the police. Officer Toro, 2013, if you ever take a picture of a person, I'll exercise the law in my own way, with Aubrey Fisher. internal affairs saying you don't talk or we kill you. Okay, why would internal affairs? Because they took money to hunt and kill, okay, or on that level, okay, so it's blatantly obvious. But they're not doing it because Kevin did anything wrong. They're doing it because the 5-year-old Jew needs to die for whatever they're trying to cover up that they started with my 6-child raping family at 5 years old. And the more I accept people and the more I allow them into my life, the more they hunt to kill with the police and government, correct? And judicial system. The friendlier I am, the nicer I am, the more accepting I am, which I've always been, LAPD hunt to kill with the Perlman family. And if I right now go into some kind of social group on something new, guess what's going to happen? I think you're a liar. I don't think you really did this. I think I have the right to hunt you and kill you with worldwide groups. You're not allowed here or any other associated venue, and it's because your past caught up with you. And you'll say, what past? Well, I'm not going to tell you because you know what you did. Just like Ron Perlman, right? Okay. I have the right to hunt you and kill you since you were 5 because you know what you did. And I go, well, what did I do? And he says, well, people aren't told what they did because they could lie, and that's a cop-out. That's Ron Perlman saying, I don't really have an argument. I just want to kill my 5-year-old and get away with it with Jason Perlman and Anita Perlman and all my friends growing up and that I didn't realize was hunting me to have me killed, and all Jason's friends and all Jason's road rage shit, and my family telling Jason to go out and do all these things with and everyone else and say it was Kevin, and right, and they I think they really got bad with that after I started wrestling. We're gonna pin it on Kevin and their little schizophrenia tactics, right? And then if you question it, because what is gang stalking? It's trying to make someone look crazy to rid them of the world. So if I have to go to the police, or they try to get me in courtrooms in front of juries, they're trying to make me look crazy. Now you're gonna say, why won't your lawyers impeach the witnesses? Okay, you have video footage of them threatening your life and telling you that you are not allowed here and all sorts of shit like that. Why wouldn't the defense attorneys with the prosecutors and the judges use the proof of innocence to show that the guy is being brutally mobbed to death, his skull mentally bashed in, and he's trying to get away from it, and he can't, it's worldwide, and then keep threatening his life that he has to move at every place he's ever lived, and then say, well, he has an incurable mental illness, is the plan by the family that wants their 5-year-old dead and gone, okay? It's not about mental illness. It's about killing out of hate, executing out of hate, locking people in cages out of hate. It's about kidnapping someone and locking them in a little cage and saying you're never allowed out of the cage, okay? It's about a mother or father that chloroforms their fucking child and locks them in a little steel cage, okay? That's what it's about. It's not about fucking, oh, the guy left his house, he needs attention. He's not allowed out of his house. That's just stupid. It doesn't even make any sense. And even if you believe that, you're still committing the crime once you act upon it with premeditation, motive, and execution. So anyways, doing something positive here. Braided steel. Why is that braided steel line? So this line's really too short. I mean, it's a waste of energy here, but it would look a little better with braided steel. But okay, so that's my little high-speed hour project here, is to put a PSI gauge in and then check what appears to be low fuel pressure or a pump going old. Replacing a 20-year-old car's fuel pump, my family will say obsession, to make it run right, because the fuel trims, the SCFP, the short-term fuel trim and the long-term fuel trims are all way the fuck up there. They're between 23 and 25. They should be between 0 and, like 6. Okay, so the engine is running lean. It's trying to overcompensate with fuel. It appears to not be able to get the fuel pressure. And Anita Perlman will say that I destroyed a car, or I'm obsessively trying to upgrade and modify the car by possibly buying a new factory fuel pump on a 140,000 mile engine in our car that's 20 years old. And she'll take it out of context with the rest of the world and remove all fact and logic and say that Kevin's obsessed, now he's buying a fuel pump for his Eclipse if it needs a fuel pump. Okay. Now, if I'm forced to take it to the Worldwide Auto Shops, told to destroy all my cars, they'll charge me $5,000 for a $100 to $200 job. Okay. By design at almost every auto shop with the Perlman family, saying Kevin doesn't get along with people, Kevin suffers from, and they'll verbally provoke and harass me the whole time too, and keep whistling at me and calling me man and bud, because Anita Perlman and Ron Perlman, when they tried to plant the drugs in my house, I'm guessing in 2001, I'm guessing with LAPD, I'm guessing that starts at 16 because, how did Kevin afford the 426 Hemi? And we all know how I afforded it. I worked at my father's office in the file room, filing till my fingers bled. But is my father going to tell you that while he's hunting me to have me killed and paying off the police to hunt me to have me killed? No, he's not going to tell you that. But the real question is, if he knows, if Ron Perlman and Charles Shawn Dinsey knows how I made my money, not that people generally ask this question while hunting people to kill them, why would he still be hunting me to kill me, making up the lies if he already knows the truth? A. B, if that guy over there says, I don't know how Kevin makes his money, and he starts stalking you and hunting you to kill you, that is extremely fucking rare. Beyond any level of rare. But yet it's happened with almost every human being I've ever met since 5 years old, on changing excuses and justifications. How's that possible? Because it's not about how does Kevin make his money. It's about hunting and killing a 5-year-old Jew with worldwide groups and government flag and kill operations. It's not about anything else. Okay, just kill the 5-year-old, kill him, execute him, eradicate him. Anita Perlman is afraid of her 5-year-old. Ron Perlman's afraid of his 5-year-old. Jason Perlman's afraid of his younger brother, his 2-year younger brother. Everyone get together, hunt him and kill him or eradicate him with worldwide groups. I'm afraid of my 5-year-old brother. I have to kill him. I'm afraid of my 5-year-old son. I have to kill him or eradicate him. That's the only thing this is about. Now, everyone worldwide knows this. So what are they trying to cover up? What are they trying to protect? Well, they're trying to protect raping and killing children, and that's disgusting. And the fact is that if you are in my presence and you play this off as a game and a joke, and not say, Kevin, I'll come forward with what we were told to do, or you're Kevin Perlman and this is unacceptable, what they've done to your life, then you're a child raping, murdering piece of shit, because that's what you support. Because to sit there and say nothing and try to make raping and killing children with worldwide groups for 50 years straight, and called mental illness and obsession, look like something positive, you're a sick child raping fuck, and then nobody's safe from you. That's the point. Okay, and that applies to everyone that's ever entered my life or is still might possibly even want to come up and talk to me playing police officer. They're working with the police to hunt and kill a 5-year-old Jew, period. That's it. So when Kira Noir and Alexis Moore are paying off or working with Rhodey Morales to take me to strip clubs and then say, Kevin's doing this to us, and okay, we all know what's going on here, okay? We know what's going on. It's been going on my entire life. Why was Rhodey Morales paid off to try to plant drugs in my house with LAPD and take me to strip clubs? Alexis Moore, can you answer that? I want a fucking answer. Why was Rhodey Morales paid off to take me to strip clubs where you were waiting there for me? Kira Noir's working similar angles. There's about 1,000 other strippers that work that angle, okay? Miley, Mila, Venice, Aubrey Fisher, okay? Trust me, I remember, okay? I know that you guys think that if you punch me in the back of the head enough, I'll forget. No, trust me, it's all there, and it's not going away. And the more punches to the back of the head, the more I remember, okay? So, would you like me to name more names? Would you like me Samantha, the supposedly she's a hypnotist, right? Samantha, okay? Would you like me to Bentley? You'll get yours. Would you like me to? No, you know what? This is what you people did. And now you have to come forwards and say, this is what we fucking did, okay? And then try to plant LAPD trash bags of marijuana in my house for the crime of what? You saw my picture on the internet that I posted all over the world. Well, you shouldn't put your shit on the fucking internet if you don't want people to fucking see it. That's the bottom fucking line. But the bottom line is nobody's saying what you're doing is wrong. So why would you be mad at me for going out and living my life? Unless you're a child raping murderer and a hypocrite. All right, so it's that simple. It has nothing to do with El Pollo Loco or me eating an El Pollo Loco or any fucking thing else. Whatever crazy angles and tactics all of you are working on since I was 5 years old. And then trying to cover it up and say Kevin's doing this to us. And we all know that if anyone is copying, I'm the one that's been copied my entire life. However, all the things being done to try to torture me and kill me aren't things I've ever done. I'll just say that. But 16 years old, I get in the cars, Brian Weaver, Shane Weeks, copy me. Okay? Brian Weaver plays, I'm better than you, we're competing, I don't even know it. And then look what Kevin did to me. And it's a worldwide public shaming was Brian Weaver's comments, and my only response would be, I don't understand public shaming for all the things you did. Okay, and that applies to everyone. So if Alexis Amore, you accuse me of doing something to you, it's what you did. Kira Noir, if you accuse me of doing something to you, it's what you did or are involved in. Jada Fire, clearly stalking me at coffee shops, trying to make me look like I'm crazy. Okay, did you kill Jada Fire? She's black. A lot of these people are black. No relaxing for you, nigger. All because I kissed a black girl. It's about trauma. Well, whether I have daily 50-year trauma, I'm still not the one doing anything wrong. You are. Okay, so that's it. So we're doing something positive, and this is going to make the family mad. And there will probably be retribution, like there always is, for doing anything positive. And that explains that if I kiss a black girl at 8 years old and the family runs around, our child's a racist, hunt him and kill him, for something positive, that they're angry their 5-year-old exists. That's it. You can't put an excuse or justification on killing 5-year-olds, especially daily for 49 years. You can't justify it. You're either a child raping murderer or you're not. And if you're not a child raping murderer, you're going to say it's wrong and come forwards. If you're going to sit there staying silent, you support child raping murderers. You're a child raping murderer.
I love you. I have a pretty mouth.